The Milford teenager detained by ICE on the way to volleyball practice is going to be released from custody. This afternoon, a judge granted Marcelo Gomes a $2,000 bond during a court hearing. A crowd was gathered outside of the Chelmsford courthouse during that hearing. His classmates and the entire Milford community have been rallying around him for days, asking for his release. WBZ's Beth Germano is there to lay out what comes next for Gomes.
Now a question of logistics. At some point last night, he was moved from detention in Burlington to Plymouth. His attorneys don't understand why. But now in order to be released, he has to be transferred back to Burlington. His attorneys call this a travesty, an 18-year-old who never should have been arrested in the first place, that he was never a flight risk. But now, again, he's going to be transferred back to Burlington, where he will finally be reunited with his family. His attorneys say his conditions have been deplorable. Within the last couple of days, he was also sent basically into isolation with very little in the way of air and no bed to sleep on. She calls this a hollow victory, but still a victory for Marcelo. He can proceed with his life while the deportation hearings continue. In Chelmsford, I'm Beth Germano, WBZ News.
All right, Beth, and as she mentioned, we spoke with Gomes' lawyers shortly after the hearing. Here's more on what they had to say.
I think DHS knows that this was a losing battle. I could be wrong. I don't want to assume that. But yeah, I mean, I think they said in their own filing, they only filed one document, which is a very standard one to file, which says he has no criminal record. You know, they're not trying to argue anything about his dangers to the community, so that part was not a surprise. I think we were always curious to see what they're going to say in terms of flight risk, and the judge did, I think, make a nod to that, which is fine, because again, she set such a reasonable, doable bond, so that's fine. We'll take it.
Can you talk about why he was transferred from Burlington down to Plymouth?
I can't, because it is brand new news to me.
And was that not supposed to happen? I mean, you saw him yesterday.
I mean, I believe I would have to double check honestly, but I believe the order, I believe it's, I can't say at this time that it wasn't lawful or that it wasn't a valid transfer. So I don't want to, I don't have a clock and calendar in front of me, the days have blended together. So that being said, it's always nice when we're told where a client's going to be. Wherever he's going to be transferred to. So that is news to me, and it's not fun to learn in a courtroom.
And I guess people at home want to know right now, so he's in Plymouth,
yeah.
It's $2,000.
Yeah.
Where does that money come from, and when will he literally walk out of federal custody? So
there was a GoFundMe page set up, which people very generously donated to, so there's more than $2,000 in there. I'm assuming that's going to cover bond. And we do have, there's a close family friend who is staked out in Burlington outside the ICE facility where I'm guessing some of your colleagues are, to make sure that transfer, that actual payment goes through. Most of it's online, but to actually pick up any belongings that he had taken from him, so she's there to do that. In terms of next steps, you know, so you might have heard the judge did set a next hearing date for a couple weeks from now. That's really a placeholder, presumably when he gets released. When he gets released, hopefully later today, that hearing will go away and he'll be on the regular docket. So his next hearing date might not be for like a few months, 6 months, a year. The immigration court system is broken, so I have hearings scheduled as far out as 2029. So it's just, you know, we're going to have to wait and see